Hi, I'm John Zimkus, and welcome to the City Show. Our guest today is Jane Kahn, the Executive Director of United Way, Warren County.
That's correct.
Welcome, Jane.
Thank you, John. It's good to be here today.
Now, first off, for the people who may not know, what is United Way?
So, United Way, in the shortest terms, is to say that we are a hub, a funnel of raising money for nonprofit organizations. Everything that we fund and support is in the nonprofit arena. We focus on 4 essential pillars, and those would be like basic needs. So our food pantries would fall into that. Health and wellness, education, community impact. So when we vet what organizations that we locally are going to fund, they would have to be filtered through that and what our mission is. So we're looking for well-established nonprofit organizations providing essential needs within Warren County.
Now, the funds that go into United Way, do they come local? Are they from local?
That's a great question. A lot of people want to know the answer to that. So right out of the gate, I want to establish that every United Way is independent of the other unless you fall under a large umbrella. So for example, United Way Greater Cincinnati has some smaller counties under their umbrella. But United Way Warren County is strictly serving Warren County residents. So the money that we raise stays right here unless it's designated outside of our county. And then we would, somebody donated within Warren County and said that they wanted that to go to a program in another county, then we would make sure they got those funds, just like those counties would make sure we got our funds.
So it's local people helping local people.
That is a great way of putting it, John. It really is. And so we are actually in the middle of running a campaign, employee giving campaign. It used to be that was kind of a fall thing, and now we are doing it January through December. So we're always in campaign season, but many of the traditional companies that have worked with us, partnered with us throughout the years, are kind of used to this more September through December campaign. So we're running that right now, and that's the original platform where you go into a place of business and you give the employees, staff, an opportunity to give back to their community, whether they live there or work there. You want to be living and working in a thriving community where everyone has access to essential needs.
Now, I remember when I was teaching, there was always a meeting about payroll deductions. Is that where most of it comes from locally?
So that again is one of the original models, and it's still one that we use quite a bit. Since I've been the director, and I've been there about 1.5 years, as an insider to the United Way, I was a community partner because my background is in nonprofit for many, many years, and a recipient of allocation funds. But I want people to know it doesn't have to be through payroll deduction. That seems to be a simple one. I personally like it because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
I forget that, $15, $20 a paycheck is going to the United Way. But you can write a check, you can make a one-time cash donation, and we'll certainly give you a receipt for that. Some of the places of business do a lot of fun events where they'll have competitions and so forth within the organization, and then that funding, that cash pot will come to the United Way and then gets dispersed right back out to the organizations that we support.
Now, doing a little research, I love history. The first organization was back in 1887 in Denver, Colorado. And it went through a variety of different names, but it was always local people helping people in need in their community. And at one time it was referred to as Community Chest, which some of you may remember from playing Monopoly, but then United Fund. And I think I read, correct me if I'm wrong, 1970 is when it became United Way.
Actually, I believe in 1970, and you're the historian, so you might get me on this one, but is when it became, oh, good grief. It was United Community Chest and United Appeal.
Okay, United Appeal.
I believe it was United Appeal in the 70s, and then it became the United Way.
Now, being a local organization like the one you had, any idea how many United Ways are in Ohio?
Well,
I know some.
So we have 88 counties, and every county is represented by
yes,
United
I would imagine
Way.
so.
So again, back to some of our larger cities like United Way Greater Cleveland, United Way Greater Dayton, Cincinnati, some other, they'll have multiple counties under their umbrella. So just to give a little clarity, United Way worldwide, so we're an international organization, and it's done a little differently outside the United States, but a similar model. But here in the United States, every United Way is independent. However, we are all under the United Way worldwide umbrella. So we pay some dues to them, and in turn we receive a lot of materials, a lot of training, a lot of guidance, the backbone and foundation of a well-established organization. Right before the cameras rolled, John, you and I were talking a little bit about history, and I'm excited to say that we just celebrated our 55th year here in Warren County, and it was kind of fun to go back. I'm probably not the history buff you are, but it was fun to go back and see some names of people that I actually, did know, and who really wanted something like that neighbor helping neighbor model to be here within Warren County. So 55 years.
That's great. Now, can you name any of the organizations that United Way supports or has in the past, or?
So with fear of not mentioning some of them, but a lot of all of the food banks in Warren County we support Camp Joy, Safe on Main, Family Promise, Warren County Community Services, the Red Cross, Abilities First, 4Cs for Children.
So anywhere there's a need, United Way is for the most part there.
Boy, that's pretty broad. I can't say that because it would depend on funding. So something I'm excited about. So we basically fund 13 organizations, and approximately, so maybe with some of those organizations there's more than one program. So 18 to 19 programs within that. So we look at how many dollars did we raise the year before. And as you can imagine, that money, we can't give out money that we haven't realized, that we haven't actually received. So it's about a 2-year lag sometimes. Before we can really commit to a certain dollar amount. And so one of my charges is to get that giving up, and so that we can give more out. The needs are there, trust me. But I am excited that knowing about that financial lag a little bit, we're growing, we're doing well, and we're getting people to believe in the mission of the United Way again. COVID, as in many things, kind of put a damper on that. But we are now offering a mini impact grant. So we've awarded one. It's anywhere between $500 to $5,000. Again, it has to align with our mission and the impact in which we're serving the community. But this gives more organizations a chance to close a financial gap that would otherwise prohibit them from helping people.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Now, speaking of helping the community, there's a program, I think it's new, is it 211?
You got it. So 211 is not new.
Oh.
And a matter of fact, a little full transparency here, because I've been in the social service arena for a long time, and I was very aware of and familiar with 211. Many of our listeners might remember a threefold brochure back when we handed those out, two-sided, and it was called A Call for Help. And as you can imagine, how challenging it was to sustain that and to keep those numbers fresh and those organizations up to date. So it kind of could become stale. The United Way did their best to keep that renewed every year, and then it would go out, and every year it would change a color so that you would know, oh, this is for the year 2015 or whatever. But fortunately, with the internet, we can do things so much more efficiently. So we were with 211 United Way Greater Dayton, and they just had an older model. And
what actually does 211 do?
Let me share that with you. It is a comprehensive resource bank with information, and it'll, matter of fact, there's a couple ways you can access it, but that's really what it is. It's a resource directly, but it's online. You can go immediately to, for ours, you go to www.uwgc211.org, and that'll take you right to the dashboard, and within there, you just say what you're looking for and it'll pop up. Or you can call. And I love the calling method because I have, again, dealt with a lot of crisis response in my career and know what it's like to work with somebody in crisis. They don't necessarily have the maybe even emotional or mental capacity to start searching, even though the platform's very user-friendly. What they're going to get when they call is a well-trained team member. We call them 211 team members who are trauma-informed, who realize the person on the other end of that call is they're calling because they're in need of something. And if it's probably a little more of an emergency situation than if they had time to just type it in. And through that, you're going to get somebody that's really going to listen, ask good questions, look for some red flags perhaps, and direct them where they need to go.
So that somebody in need, and they have no idea where to go, and this person on the other end, the 211 operator, if you will, sort of guides them as to where they can get their assistance.
Yes, so chances are pretty good they're going to say, they'll ask them what county they're calling from, because that's very relevant.
Now, so where is the, for a better term, the 211 operator? Is there a calling bank someplace?
It is. This is all through. We contract with United Way Greater Cincinnati. They have the capacity, they have the infrastructure, they have a strong and mighty team to provide this mass production. Matter of fact, John, they handle 211 for 7 counties within Ohio, our region, and 4 counties within northern Kentucky. So if somebody from Warren County calls and they're needing help with something, and perhaps Warren County can't provide that service, they'll immediately begin looking, well, right over the county line in Claremont or Butler County, here's this agency, and it looks like they might be able to help you. So it's nice to know you're not limited when you call to just services within the county in which you reside.
So the 211 operator has in front of them resources in our area that can help this person.
Hundreds upon hundreds of resources.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you're mentioning, in some cases, I know it makes sense, but you do cross county lines and who can help you, because sometimes there is no restriction in crossing a county line.
Correct.
Yeah.
Usually in social service, you benefit from receiving services within the county in which you reside, but that's not always the case. So, for example, you need help with maybe housing, utilities. Those usually are going to be provided within the county in which you reside. But there are a lot of other services that that you may be able to go outside county lines for.
Now, sometimes when I'm on the internet and I'm on Facebook or something like that, and there's a few local community Facebook pages, and someone will write, "Where can I find family counseling?" Or "I am in need of, I can't pay my rent." 211 would be a place they could go for both of those kind of things.
My immediate response would be to type back 211. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, if we were talking previously that the organizations which provide the help are vetted by United Way. If you are an organization and you want to help, but you may not be on the United Way's list, how do you go about showing that you are available?
The vetting part's really important, and let me just address that
Sure.
real quick. We're not going to put an agency on there that doesn't have the capacity to help. We're not going to send somebody to maybe they're getting ready to close their doors, or maybe for whatever reason they lost a lot of staff and they just don't have the capacity to help anymore. So we vet them in terms of that. Do you have the capacity to respond to a caller? Are they going to get an answer machine? Are they, how are you going to be able to respond? So it's vetted that way because we want people to get help when they need it. And then my apologies. What was the first part of that question?
How do you become a member of being?
Yes. Okay. So how do you get your name on the registry?
That's
the best
right.
thing to do is go to, again, www.uwgc211.org and check out the dashboard. See if you're there. Just simply type in your agency name, and you're like, oh my goodness, we're not even in there.
Yeah.
And then on that web page, you'll be able to fill out a form, or it tells you how to perhaps submit an application. Or you can contact us locally. We have a nice control and sense of handling of Warren counties, because we want to make sure we are serving our community to the best of our capabilities. So one of my staff members oversees the 211 program, and she likes them to come through us for good reasons, because that way we know, we can follow it, we can track it, and we'll say, yep, they're in, or maybe why did it get rejected, and then we'll know on our end as well.
Now, what kind of organizations are on that list for referrals?
Oh my goodness, you had mentioned an example with counseling. So counseling, housing, utilities, even things like snow removal, assistance with things like that, food banks, emergency services, clothing banks. Where can you go when you need assistance with clothing? Most of them are in the realm of some type of a social service. The faith community is represented there. And if you could, any need that you might have, where you would need somebody to just kind of lift you up and place that, close the gap on that need for you, so that you can go on and live life without that barrier burdening you down in life and holding you back. You should be able to find that on 211.
Now, it's not all necessarily oriented to people who may be in financial need. It may be a physical need or health.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad you brought that up. One of the agencies I failed to mention, I was afraid of that, is Cancer Family Care. And we support Cancer Family Care. They're headquartered in Cincinnati, but they provide a large number of services and impact within Warren County schools. And one of the services that they provide is they go into schools and they provide support to students and their families dealing with predominantly cancer, but it can be other terminal illnesses. That has nothing to do with your financial or social economic status. And there's many. The Red Cross is another one. And forgive me for kind of blanking out here a little bit, but there are many times all of us could use some help.
Well, I imagine support groups too.
Yep.
So, you know, a member of your family has an issue and it's affecting you. And so an organization which might help you cope with the issue your family member is having.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of counseling support groups, grievance groups, are listed on 211.
Now, 211 there is no off switch on 211. It's there, 365 days a year, 24/7?
24/7. It does not turn off, so you can access it.
Free and confidential is what I've read.
It is free and confidential. Matter of fact, any service that the United Way provides is a free service. Some other things that we do here locally is we have a community care day, and it's been so successful. We're going to start doing it twice a year, where families or companies volunteer their time and send staff, and we just spread out throughout Warren County, and we do spring, fall cleanup, we paint fences, we fix windows, all kinds of things like that. We do a huge Christmas toy drive. Matter of fact, we just opened that up. You can start donating Christmas gifts so that we can go back out. 882 toys were distributed last year through the United Way.
Now, I was going to go with, what was I going to ask you? I'm having my blank now. If you want to find out more information, well, first off, can you text 211?
That's a good question. And I believe some platforms do allow that. Ours does not. They're always working on the technology side of things, so at some point you'll be able to. But there's actually a lot of disadvantages to the texting a little bit. Somebody would have to be able to text you back.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to just dial 211. I actually brought these cards with me, and so we provide here, I'll flip them over. So one's in Spanish, one's in English. We have a QR code. We're in the middle of a huge marketing campaign for 211 Warren County. We've been talking to lots of organizations. We have a big event coming up on the 20th of November where we're going to be addressing firefighters, police departments, law enforcement, and emergency services, as well as about 30 or 40 social service organizations will be coming together.
And where will this take place?
Well, it's happening at the Warren County Commissioner's office. I can't say that's open to the public because Family Children First Council is allowing us time during one of their regular meetings to do this and invite about 50 to 70 more guests in. We'll have to kind of dismiss and let them go on to business as usual. But we ordered for right now 30,000 cards, and I'm telling you, we're giving them out like crazy. It's just so easy. You know, there's 3 numbers to remember. We all know what 911 is and when to use that, hopefully. 988 is for suicide prevention, and that's a critical number to know to call. And the other one is 211. Where can I go and quickly find some resources? We just learned this week, John, that they just updated some of the technology, and now you can go in, if you go to the dashboard, so you're just looking things up on your computer, you can click on that organizations and do a PDF printout. So imagine if you're a social service provider and you're working with a client, you can print that off in your office and give them the handout with all the information about, here's the address, here's their website, and let them have a little time to check it out a little more on their own.
Does the call center have the ability to let you know how many people from Warren County have contacted them?
Yes, yeah. There's several reports that we get through them, and that's very helpful to us.
Well, hopefully this conversation will increase those numbers.
Oh, I
that
hope
more
so.
people are getting help.
I hope so. So 211 is the Warren County Resource Directory.
Fantastic. Jane, is there anything else we should tell the viewers before we sign off?
Wow. Just remember 211. And if a lot of people are looking for resources or go to a neighbor, just know that all you have to know is say, I don't have the answer to that, but if you call 211, maybe you'll find it.
Well, Jane, thank you so very much for being on the City Show. I appreciate all the information you've shared with us. And hopefully, if you want to give and help, United Way is a way you can help. If you need help, 211 is a place to find where you can get that help. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you around town.